pack, the moon, the suns, or the stars. Get into the real things, the authentic stuff. Get into Sports Illustrated Insider Authentics, the catalog that gets you into the game for real. Insider Authentics takes you into the locker room to suit up like the pros. Whatever your team, college or pro, you'll get issued what they get issued. It's exactly what the players and coaches wear. With NFL Pro Line, Major League Baseball's Diamond Collection, NBA Authentics, and the NHL Center Collection. Insider Authentics gives you all the big names in the big games. Apex, Champion, Starter, Russell, and others. They feature the same fabrics, cuts, and logos used by the professional and college teams. Sweatshirts, t-shirts, shorts, and jerseys that can take a pounding and still look like a hero. It's quality that's unbeatable. It's Sports Illustrated Insider Authentics. Call this toll-free number now to get into it with a free catalog. It's where you find all the stuff that's hard to find. It's where you can get into it all without going out. And you get it all on time with express delivery that won't keep you waiting. Plus, you can order the sports videos that capture the excitement of the event, the teams, the stars. You'll also get inside the world of sports celebrities through signed helmets, balls, and covers. These items are limited, so call now for a free catalog. Ask how you can join the Insiders Club and save 10% on all purchases. Plus, you'll receive 2 free videos. Watch for Insiders Authentics ads in Sports Illustrated. Get inside with royalty, the mighty, the biggest, and the best. It's great stuff. Call for a free catalog and get inside with Sports Illustrated Insider Authentics.
Hi, I'm Peter King of Sports Illustrated. Along with my colleague Michael Silver, it's my pleasure to introduce the 1995 Los Angeles Raiders Video Yearbook.
In this Sports Illustrated special presentation, we're going to give you an exclusive look at Los Angeles Raiders football, past, present, and future.
And we're going to start with a review of the 1994 Raiders season, a highlight package we call Tradition of Greatness. Michael, in order to return to that greatness, the Raiders did 2 things in the offseason that I think are pretty significant. One, they hired Mike White, gets along very well with Jeff Hostetler, and brought in a former Hostetler crony from the Giants, Jim Fossil, who most recently was the Denver Broncos offensive coordinator. I think they'll mesh well in forming a new offense here. Also, they've brought in Napoleon Kaufman, the number 1 draft choice, the first running back picked in over a decade in the first round by the Raiders. I think they've significantly helped themselves on offense. What about on defense?
As usual, it's very strong, Peter. There are 2 guys I think deserve a lot of credit. They've really emerged as the stars on this unit. Chester McGlockton, the big guy plugging up the inside of the defensive line, and cornerback Terry McDaniel. Everyone talks about Rod Woodson and Deion Sanders, rightfully so, but McDaniel is as good a coverage guy as anyone in the league, and he's got a real good nose for the ball.
Speaking of guys who don't get near enough credit, even though everybody knows who he is, Tim Brown might have had the quietest 89-catch season of anybody last year. I think he is an absolute key. As long as he and Hostetler can team up, they're going to have a great offensive season. These are just some of the things we're about to see. For in addition to 1994 highlights, we've also got a preview of the 1995 Raiders season, as well as a special trip down memory lane in our Raiders Classic segment.
That segment will feature retrospectives on the careers of 2 great Raider pass catchers, Cliff Branch and Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
So without further ado, Sports Illustrated proudly presents the 1995 Los Angeles Raiders Video Yearbook.
In Barcelona, Spain, the Raiders, professional sports winningest team, celebrated their historic 35th anniversary, displaying their famed and feared vertical passing game to beat division rival Denver in a preseason American Bowl. The season opener had Coach Art Shell and the Raiders in San Francisco against the Super Bowl-bound 49ers. Quarterback Jeff Hostetler, protected by number 66 veteran guard Kevin Gogan. Found 81 Tim Brown cutting inside for the first touchdown of the '94 season. A short pass to 86, Rocket Ishmael broke long. Then 44, Tom Rathman led the way as Raiders scoring specialist Napoleon McCallum powered in for 6. The Rocket exploded again on a long kickoff return with a key block by number 51, Aaron Wallace. Returning veteran Scott Davis and rookie Austin Robbins deepened the defense. Safety Eddie Anderson, 33, deflected a pass that young middle backer Greg Beaker, number 54, intercepted. Big Chester McLaughlin, number 91, got 1 sack. And 56, Andre Bruce and new veteran Jerry Ball, 93, combined for another. But the Raiders fell short in their season opener. In next week's home opener, Raider fans of all ages saw the defense attack the Seahawks. 74, Nolan Harrison picked up a sack, while 36, Terry McDaniel picked off a Seattle pass. McDaniel displayed ball-carrying skills. And when number 20, safety Derek Hoskins, forced a fumble, the All-Pro corner exhibited speed as well en route to the end zone. Still, saddened Raider fans would need one more week before their heroes in silver and black tasted victory. In Denver, with runners Greg Robinson and Napoleon McCallum sidelined for the season, the Raiders still took command early. In their silver-numbered 35th anniversary throwback jerseys, Tom Rathman drove inside. At number 21, Swift Tyrone Montgomery swept outside. New Raider Harvey Williams, number 22, scored his first touchdown as visiting Raider fans flipped over their favorites. Proud, powerful offensive lineman Steve Wisniewski, 76, Gerald Perry, 71, Don Mosbar, Kevin Gogan, and Bruce Wilkerson worked, so Jeff Hostetler could find sure-handed young targets like number 80, Darrell Hobbs, and 21, Tyrone Montgomery.
Rolls over the right side, now he's going to run it. No, he'll go deep down the middle. He's got Ty Montgomery at the 40, down to the 30, he may go the distance, 25-20, he will. Touchdown Raiders. What an ad-lib by Jeff Hostetler.
Good job. Nice protection. Nice protection. Good job. Good job. Hey, nice protection. Good job.
Hostetler passed for 338 yards. And number 81, Tim Brown, caught 7 for 136 yards. Magnificent effort by Brown, and a block by Hobbs earned 1 score. And 87, Andrew Glover got another. With the offense triggering a scoring avalanche, the tough defense was equally primed and ready.
Go, baby. Be relentless, baby. Every man get that damn man.
Design and execution sprung 33 Eddie Anderson on a blitz. And when number 29 ball-hawking corner Albert Lewis stripped the ball, Terry McDaniel had another turnover. Pro Bowl-bound McDaniel scored another touchdown. And for the 10th time in their last 11 meetings, the Raiders conquered the Broncos.
Come on, Raiders! Nail that coffin shut here now!
Hostetler's 4th touchdown pass of the game went to Harvey Williams. It was another day of glory for the Raiders, their most points in a single game since 1979. Beat San Diego. That was the goal in Game 4 for fans, Raiderettes, and Raiders alike. Raiders superfan James Garner saw his team fall behind early 23-3, then rise to the challenge in the second half. Hostetler found Olympic sprinter James Jett, 82, for big yardage. Then with time to spare, Hostetler went deep to the rocket for a touchdown. Speedster Alexander Wright burst up the right side. And on defense, Terry McDaniel controlled the deep middle. McDaniel captured another pass, while rushers Winston Moss, number 99, Chester McLaughlin, 91, and 94 Anthony Smith captured quarterbacks. McLaughlin pressured. Number 53 rookie first-round draft choice Rob Fredrickson pounded, and corner Lionel Washington scored, but the rally fell short. But when McDaniel raced goalward the following week in New England, Raider will to win would not be denied. Thoroughly prepared, Terry McDaniel intercepted 3 Patriot passes. This one after Jerry Ball tipped it at the line of scrimmage.
I didn't have to wait, getting my 2-1 read, and then he just ran the curve. And I took off on the break, somebody tipped it.
On offense, Jeff Hostetler struck long to Ishmael and Wright. But a perfect screen to Harvey Williams. Following 72, Don Mosbar got the touchdown.
Over the middle, 25-20, 15-10. He'll take it the distance. Touchdown Raiders.
Come on, baby, let's go. Let's get rolling, man.
Harvey Williams, the single set. Here we go. Hostetler, quarterback draw, calls his own number, dives in for the touchdown. Jeff Hostetler on the quarterback draw all the way, and the Raiders take the lead.
94 Anthony Smith picked up a sack. Inspired goal line defense, led by Greg Biekert, Lewis, Fredrickson, Harrison, Ball, and Patrick Bates, preserved the victory. Cross country again. Now in hostile Miami, the relentless Raider defense continued to attack. Greg Biekert stopped the sweep. Donald Frank intercepted. And number 74, Nolan Harrison, forced one fumble for Jerry Ball to recover.
It's going to be Mark Higgs taking over a tailback behind.
Then 94 Anthony Smith alertly scored after McDaniel created another free ball.
And 5, touchdown Raiders!
Conference leader Jeff Gossett's punts were covered by Mike Jones, Rob Holmberg, and number 25, Dan Land. The offense rallied beyond running back Harvey Williams. Punishing protection. And the lethal passing partnership of Jeff Hostetler and Tim Brown. But controversial penalties limited production as this big gainer by James Jett was nullified, and the Raiders lost in overtime. Back at the Coliseum, loyal fans inside, outside, and topside kept the faith, while on the field, proud, poised, determined warriors in silver and black prepared to dominate the Falcons. The line sprung Harvey Williams for his first 100-yard game. 1 touchdown. And a Raiderette salute. Raider defense defied great odds as Derek Hoskins 20 and Anthony Smith 94 guarded their goal line, and Jerry Ball halted another threat. When Atlanta tried to pass, intense Raider rushers slammed the door. Aaron Wallace, Chester McLaughlin, and 37 Olympic gold medalist James Trapp displayed fire and fury. Pressure from Anthony Smith triggered a Lionel Washington interception. Tim Brown sped downfield. Blockers Robert Jenkins, 64, Mosbar, and Wisniewski enabled Hostetler to find Brown for 2 touchdowns. Just win, baby. Next came Halloween and the Houston Oilers. Quarterbacks Billy Joe Hobart, Vince Evans, and Jeff Hostetler huddled with Coach Shell and center Dan Turk. Harvey Williams again topped 100 yards with blocks by Kevin Gogan, 65 Max Montoya, 78 Greg Skrepenik, and 88 Jamie Williams providing running room. Pro Bowl-bound Raiders, Hostetler and Brown produced big plays.
Looking over the middle, he's flushed out, rolls over to the right side. Running. He's got Brown coming back to the near side, fires. Brown's there. Touchdown Raiders!
Attacking defenders like Jerry Ball, Pro Bowl selection Chester McLaughlin, and all-rookie team choice Rob Fredrickson stopped runs and passes, forced turnovers, and keyed the 17-14 victory.
Gotta fight it hard. Don't come out today, because there's been a lot of hitting out there today.
Crushing Raider defense continued in 94 with hitters like Anderson, Trapp, Bates, Mike Jones, Albert Lewis, and Dan Lamb. Raider fans of all ages filled Anaheim Stadium for the war against the Rams. Youthful starters like McLaughlin and Fredrickson led the invasion. Rookie Calvin Jones, number 27, and young veteran Harvey Williams destroyed the Rams defense. Against the pass, a trio of brilliant Raider first-round draft choices. Anthony Smith, Chester McLaughlin, and Terry McDaniel overpowered the Rams. Raider air superiority was evident as Hostetler screened to Harvey Williams. Then went deep to a flying James Jett. And mid-range to tight end Andrew Glover for a touchdown.
They bring the blitz from the outside. He fires it deep down the near side. Has Glover. Touchdown Raiders!
Rocket Ishmael's score ensured victory. An NFL record 300th league win since 1963 when Al Davis first pledged to build professional sports' finest organization. Against New Orleans, former great Raider receiver Bob Chandler was honorary captain, and daughter Marissa sang the anthem.
1st and 10, inside the 12, play fake, they look for the slant, fires to Brown, touchdown Raiders!
Tim Brown scored early. Then with Jeff Gossett holding, Jeff Jaeger drilled a 51-yard field goal. On defense, Rob Fredrickson answered the call, storming the Saints' backfield. Winston Moss picked up a sack, as did Nolan Harrison. Punishing pass rush by the Raider front line helped Patrick Bates and Terry McDaniel get interceptions. In any language, these Raiders were totally dominant.
Los Angeles Raiders los número uno y vamos a ganar ahora.
With line coach Mike White astutely organizing protection schemes, Jeff Hostetler had time to team with Rocket Ishmael for long bombs and short touchdowns.
The Rocket against Hughes. Hostetler back to throw, fires for the Rocket at the 10, beats Hughes, he's in, touchdown Raiders!
Tim Brown, AFC receiving yardage leader in '94, and another example of astute Raider scouting skills made game-winning plays.
Rifles it for Brown at the 15, down to the 10. Will he be denied to the 5? Dives, is he in? Touchdown Raiders!
One team has totally dominated the historic 25 seasons of ABC's Monday Night Football. From their first win over Washington in 1970 to their final Monday night win in Oakland in 1981.
Watch fielded on his own 48, down to the 50, 45, finds a crease, breaks a tackle at the 40, 35, 30, right side, blockers, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Raiders, and Oakland takes the lead.
To Bo Jackson's incredible 221 yards rushing in 1987, the Raiders have been unrivaled kings of Monday Night Football. Against the Chargers, this commitment to excellence continued.
Glove of the tight end goes in motion to the wide side of the field. Play action fake, Hostetler with ample time, back to throw, goes deep down the middle. He's got Alexander Wright wide open at the 25.
The vertical strike to Alexander Wright came on the Raiders' first play. Monday Night mastery remained as veteran quarterback Vince Evans temporarily replaced an injured Jeff Hostetler. With Pro Bowl starter Steve Wisniewski protecting, Evans lit the rocket. Defensively, Aaron Wallace contributed one sack and helped Anthony Smith get another. Hostetler returned and found newcomer Wes Bender, number 49, for a crucial gain. James Jett displayed his blazing speed and quickness. And fellow speedster Rocket Ishmael broke free on an end around, then caught a game-winning touchdown pass.
Jones to the play fake, Hostetler back to pass, guns it over the middle, touchdown Raiders!
After 25 years, Monday Night Football still belonged to the silver and black. Back home, fervent Raider fans and the roar of the crowd awaited the visiting Broncos. Longtime Raider backers Billy Davis Jr. and Marilyn McCoo sang the national anthem.
We need to play our best, and if we play our best, you know what the outcome's going to be.
Raider mind and muscle took charge quickly as Jerry Ball and Chester McLaughlin closed the middle. Rob Fredrickson and Winston Moss pressured from outside. first-year pro Alberto White, number 96, added another Raiders sack. Tom Rathman broke loose on the right. And number 27, rookie Calvin Jones, maneuvered inside. Harvey Williams cut back. And Hostetler struck deep to the rocket. Jeff Jaeger set a club record with 5 field goals. But the key to again conquering the Broncos was an awesome goal line stand. Greg Biekert was fearless on first down. Davis, Bates, and Biekert shut him down on second. And Fredrickson, Harrison, and Lewis led the charge on third.
Can he get out of the backfield? No! Clark is buried back at the 4. What a stop by the Raiders.
Behind center Dan Turk, 67, Hostetler passed to Harvey Williams for this fourth quarter touchdown and another 35th anniversary season win. In Seattle, youngsters like Rob Holmberg, James Volston, and 96 Alberto White maintain the Raider tradition of greatness in its future. Chester McLaughlin continued as an ominous, intimidating force. Harvey Williams followed 87 Andrew Glover for 1 score. The game's biggest play was a dramatic 77-yard strike from Hostetler to Brown, earning another winning season for the Raiders.
Breaks the tackle to the 40 to the 30. He'll take it the distance. Touchdown Raiders.
Brown's score led the Silver and Black to this classic comeback triumph, 17-16. When the battle begins in 1995, the Raiders will be led by skillful, proven Mike White, new head coach for the only organization to play in Super Bowls in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Under Al Davis's drive and direction since 1963, the Raiders are professional sports winningest team. A team with an unyielding commitment to excellence. A team for all decades.
The opportunity that Al Davis has given me is something that I'll always cherish, and the 4 years, or these last 4 or 5 years that I've been able to be with the Raider organization is, I think, made me and given me an opportunity to be well prepared.
Don't give a sucker an easy break now. This is where you find out how tough you are. I mean it. This is how tough you got to be right now.
Toughness has long been a trait of the Raiders. Mike White demanded it as offensive line coach, and last year saw his unit open holes for first-year Raider Harvey Williams, who ran for nearly 1,000 yards.
Give to Williams, right side. He's in. Touchdown Raiders.
This season, a new Raider runner should see some of those huge holes.
With the 18th selection in the first round, the Los Angeles Raiders select running back from the University of Washington, Napoleon Kaufman.
They're the first round running back they've taken since Marcus Allen. Napoleon Kaufman is a really interesting back for them because he can almost be any kind of back. You know, he's almost like, in some ways, mentally kind of a Dave Meggett, because Dave Meggett might be 5'9" or 5'10", but he thinks he's 6'2" and a banger.
Napoleon Kaufman gives the Raiders something that they desperately need, a guy who is a threat to score every time he touches the ball.
I think Kaufman is going to be a great help to them, and he's probably the best friend that Jeff Hostetler could ever have asked for in this offense, because he'll certainly help take pressure off him.
Nice job on a solid pocket and all that stuff. Okay. Yeah, good job, baby.
1995 will mark Jeff Hostetler's 3rd season as the leader of the Raiders offense.
I've always liked Jeff Hostetler. He may not be a Dan Marino, he may not be the type of guy who's going to be a superstar who carries you on his ability. But I don't think any quarterback in the NFL is tougher. I think his teammates know that. I think if Jeff Hostetler is in an offense where Tim Brown is the focus, he can be an all-pro player.
Back to throw is Hostetler, looking over to the right side, guns it over the middle. Brown's there, touchdown Raiders! Hostetler straight and deep, drop, sets up. He's got plenty of time. He flares it over the middle. He's got Brown, touchdown Raiders! Back to throw, looks, fires, middle of the end zone. His man's there, touchdown Tim Brown! What a grab!
If I had any criticism of the Raiders offense late last season, it was that they didn't get the ball to Tim Brown enough. And I think that should be the #1 commitment for this season, finding a way to get Tim Brown the ball 100 times.
I think Brown right now is as good as there is in the game, at making 30 and 40-yard plays with any consistency.
Hostetler setting it up, going over the middle. There's Brown. It's completed the 25-20, 15, 10, 5. He's in. Touchdown Raiders.
I think having Tim Brown on the other end is really going to help Rocket Ismail because he doesn't have all that pressure. Not only can he learn from what Tim Brown does, but he can benefit from the double coverage that Brown is bound to receive.
Hostetler back to throw, looking into the corner of the end zone. Guns it over the middle. Wide open is the Rocket. Touchdown Raiders.
Rocket Ismail, Tim Brown, and number 82 James Jett give the Raiders perhaps the fastest receiving corps in the NFL. Free agent acquisition carried cash should provide Hostetler another sure-handed target, and if Hoss receives enough protection, he could easily surpass the 20 touchdowns he threw for in '94. Defensively, the Raiders will count on the likes of number 74 Nolan Harrison. Anthony Smith will aim to spend time in opponents' backfields, as will a pair of young linebackers, Rob Fredrickson, the team's #1 pick in '94, and third-year man Greg Biekert. Former Saint and Lion Pat Swilling will bolster the linebackers. But the key to the success of the Raiders' front seven likely will be 310-pound All-Pro Chester McGlockton.
Let's go get him, Chet. Let's go get him, Chester. Let's go.
I think McGlockton has been lost in the shadows of an awful lot of good defensive tackles in the game right now. But I think especially since Howie Long has left, you're seeing more and more what a great player this guy is. If the offense is playing kind of a man-to-man blocking scheme and he's only on one guy, you really see him take advantage of a lot of people that way.
McGlockton provides the power up front, while All-Pro Terry McDaniel anchors the secondary.
Everyone talks about Deion Sanders and Rod Woodson, as they should, but if you think about just a pure cover corner, nobody's better than Terry McDaniel. Teams don't throw at him much, and when they do, there's a pretty good chance he's going to get his hands on the football.
McDaniel had 7 interceptions in '94 to lead the Raiders secondary, a unit that will welcome the addition of Bruce Pickens.
And I think if we can take it to the next step, I think if we can regain the commitment to excellence that people talk about with the Raider organization, I think we can expect a good year.
The Los Angeles Raiders were the last AFC team to win a Super Bowl. That was 12 years ago. New coach Mike White hopes to make the Raiders the next AFC team to win the Super Bowl. In 1995, the Raiders will look to regain their championship form of the past and continue their tradition of greatness.
Back to the old Raiders. We got to lead on that. Raiders are back.
You know, they never put the word genius as far as receiver, but if they put the word genius with player, Fred Biletnikoff as a receiver would be a genius.
Genius comes in many figurations. It comes in great size and great strength, in great speed, and maybe once in every decade in great artistry. A man will walk softly into the valley of giants and he will make you wonder, where is the body? Where is the strength? Where is the speed? How is he going to play a Giants game? How is he going to compensate?
I had a lot of work to do. The only talent I had when I came into professional football was at being able to catch a football.
He didn't have a lot of natural things. I mean, he wasn't big, he wasn't strong, he wasn't fast, but he worked harder than anyone else. He knew more about receiving and running pass patterns and catching the ball than anyone I've ever met in my life.
While others relied on pure speed, Biletnikoff thrived on guile, for he knew the object was not to win a foot race, but to catch a football.
When he had to catch a football, he went for it as if it were a dance in the heavens and the stars, that nobody was going to stop him from catching the football, and nobody could.
Desire was the flip side to Biletnikoff's genius. His father was a national amateur boxing champion, and Biletnikoff was able to harness the savage instincts of the ring and translate them to the delicate art of pass catching.
It's like a fighter. When he starts off, you know, they go, and go, and then eventually one or the other starts getting to the other one. That's the way I played.
He would catch a ball in the end zone, fight for it, and then slam it down, and he and the defensive back would be shoving each other and sticking their finger in one another's face because they were having a war. 60 minutes worth of war.
I'd never seen someone get so emotionally worked up. He stayed that way through the entire ball game. He didn't relax till he got back into the locker room after the ball game was over and start wiping off all the stickum all over his hands and in his ears and in his hair and between his toes, and Lord knows how it got between his toes, but he was just caked with that stuff.
It was just a yellow goo that any player could have purchased. But for non-believers, stickum provided the only earthly explanation for the magic this wizard wrought for 14 NFL seasons. Spellbinding performance, though, came not from a store-bought substance, but from an attitude that money couldn't buy.
Any edge I could get on doing little things here or there, and that's not only to stick them and all that stuff. It's just you weren't in there you were in there to play football, boy. You're in there to win, you know, and whatever you had to do to win, and that was the enjoyment of football.
The will to win has been a dominating theme of the Raider organization, and while no player has epitomized that will more than Fred Biletnikoff, I will remember him most because he hated to lose.
The determination running with the football, you know, because he didn't have great speed. He had great quickness. Now he's in that secondary against people who are all track men, but he's going to get every yard for us he can.
Biletnikoff's hunger for victory grew with the importance of every game. So it was only fitting that his greatest glory came in the biggest game of his life. It was Super Bowl XI, and as the Raiders routed the Minnesota Vikings 32-14, the most valuable player was Fred Biletnikoff.
He can beat you not with great athletic skill, but with artifice, timing, and execution. And that was Fred Biletnikoff.
He was a self-made receiver who achieved greatness, the Hall of Fame, and was a genius in what he did. They always talked about the big bad Raiders, and here we had to hide. We had to parade Cliff Branch out there. He was 155 pounds. He was so skinny his back pockets would fight when he'd walk.
But Cliff Branch's motto was run, don't walk. He was an undernourished and undisciplined receiver when he joined the Raiders in 1972. But his Olympic caliber speed turned uphill battles into downhill races. And for 14 glorious seasons, Branch ran through stop signs and ignored speed limits.
Cliff Branch was the ultimate threat for the Raiders because we threw the deep ball. He would stretch the defense. Those guys were just afraid that he'd blow by them, and ultimately he would blow by them. I mean, he was the ultimate deep threat in the game of football.
Well, I think it put a lot of fear in the defensive back because of the fact that you closed the cushion so much, and when they said the bomb was back in Oakland, they was talking about one player, and they was talking about Clifford Branch.
Cliff Branch believed that he could beat anyone deep on any play. Cliff would always come back and he'd tell me, Coach, I can beat him deep. And he'd tell Kenny Stabler. He said, Snake, I can beat him deep. And sometimes he would say it while they're playing the national anthem. You know, I mean, he would say, so we haven't even played yet. How do you know you can beat the guy deep?
Branch has always been perceived strictly as a speed machine. Rev him up, and he ran away from defenders. But he worked hard to become a total receiver, combining his gift of speed with the gift of grab. Branch gave the same lessons to all-pro defensive backs that he learned from Hall of Fame defensive backs.
We get Cliff in practice and just try to beat him down. I mean, really go after him. So when it came to game time, it was pretty easy for Cliff because he had gone against the best.
You can control your speed by just concentrating real hard on running your routes because the defensive back are going to fear you because of your great speed. But I think the reason I was able to control my speed is because I learned to run precision routes.
Branch was uncanny in the clutch and part of the seas of defense, remaining the only man afloat.
Cliff was a classic example of Al Davis's definition of a great player. Great players are the players who make big plays in big games. Cliff is a vivacious, effervescent kind of guy who lit up in big games. Who just laughed and loved it and got excited about it and pranced.
The Saints jumped out on us real early, and the coach had benched me in part of the game, and we were falling behind, and I was just waiting impatiently to get in the game. And Coach Flores sent me in the game and got 2 or 3 scores quickly, and it turned the game around for us.
We're back under heavy rush. Gets to Branch to the 42. Gets away, dancing to the left, 30 to the 50 to the 40 to the 30. He's going to go all the way. The 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown Raiders.
He was a guy who, when the game was on the line, when you could break the game, that's when he made the big plays.
Tabler back, he's going to pass, looking one way, comes back to the right, throws to Branch on the 2, scrambles, backpedaling, clawing, scrapping, touchdown Raiders! What an incredible story.
He was a money man. Postseason time came, it was time to go to work. It's money. We used to always say, hey, they got the hands in our pockets, they're trying to take money out of them. We got to go get it.
Back is Plunkett. Time to throw. Deep to the end zone to Branch. It is caught by Branch. Touchdown Raiders. Holy
Toledo. The littlest Raider became the biggest player on the field in championship games. His feats were indelibly etched in silver and black, then forever sealed in black and white.
He is the all-time leader in the National Football League in catches and yardage in postseason games. He had 73 catches, 1,289 yards in postseason games.